I've been married to my spouse for 23 years. Victoria, our lone child, recently received her college degree and began working. I had thought that, as husband and wife, we would lead a calm life now that we had reached the conclusion of our journey raising our child. However, it appears that I was the only one with that thought. About half a year after our daughter moved out, Wyatt comes up to me and demands a divorce. Hello, may we have a conversation? Naturally. What's that? Given that Victoria has begun working, I reasoned that perhaps it's time for us both to enter a new stage of life. All right, similar to what? Divorce is what I want. Pardon me? I look at my spouse, unable to disguise my surprise at this abrupt request. But Wyatt is staring at the TV and doesn't even look at me when we are speaking. By what do you mean? Just as I mentioned, I mean it. Why though a divorce? Why the rapid change? It's not an abrupt change. It's been on my mind for some time. That was just you though, and I find it quite abrupt that you brought it up for the first time. You can't think that I would respond, yes, okay, right away, and you could just let it all out. Wyatt gives a deep breath. I am in fact seeing someone. How come? I understand. Therefore, a 55-year-old man in his middle age can fall in love. I've never given thought to having an affair. I have been faithful to Wyatt since I lost interest in other guys after getting married. I begin to feel self-pitying. Wyatt had his back to the direction in question. It's a really bizarre sensation though, and even though I just found out that he's seeing someone, I'm not too startled or offended. In fact, I'm kind of embracing it. I should be delighted for this middle-aged man if he has found love. Sincerely, I think I can handle the divorce and don't want to stand in his way. All right. Are you in love with her? Indeed, I understand. After we are divorced, what will you do? She is someone I want to marry. Really? All right, I understand. Okay, then let's file for divorce. I apologize. It's all right. I hope you have a nice rest of your life. Not because I don't like you anymore. It's just that I can no longer see us being in the future. Well, you really do want to harm me, don't you? Of course, and I don't want to cause you any harm. Just go ahead and stop. It's all right. That's where we should stop. I think I said I would accept the divorce, so I won't say anything more. Yes, I will be asking for reimbursement. You accept appropriate accountability. I have nothing else to say as long as you follow through on that. All right, I will make the payment. Additionally, I'm giving you this house. Really? I'm grateful. You swear? Indeed, that's all I have left to do for you. Oh, here we are once more. There will be no keeping of this commitment. This is a feature of my husband that I have always detested. He would act like a tragic hero in a lot of circumstances. He's saying, it's not that I dislike you or don't want to hurt you, even in this talk. And he's attempting to keep that conversation going. Now that I've accepted the divorce, everyone can move on and be happy. Furthermore, Wyatt has never fulfilled a commitment, so I have no doubt that he will later claim that he won't give me the house or pay the restitution. I know everything there is to know about him because we spend over 2 decades together. I go pick up the appropriate divorce paperwork the following day. I tell my hubby this that evening. Have I received the divorce paperwork yet? Since you don't have much time left and we're both elderly, I figured it would be best to end this now so you can spend more time with the woman you're seeing. However, that was swift. Okay, perhaps. By the end of this week, could you please modify the names of the houses and land surrounding her? And send the payment by wire as well? Really, may I consider this for a moment? Would you please hurry up and complete these forms? It's not really that simple. It is indeed. Fill out the paperwork, wire the money, and change the names on the land and the house. That's the only thing about it. That's not my intention. Don't you feel a little sad that you're leaving me? If I do, would something change? Okay, then let's finish this off. Well, no. Sophia, are you without emotion? You know, I still like you. Thank you. I also enjoy you. Okay, I apologize, but all right. Please sign this quickly. Wyatt is fully immersed in his fantasy world once more. In his eyes, he is the hero. There's no reason for me to put up with this anymore because I'm not going to be his wife. I quickly cut our chats short and head to bed. I get in touch with my daughter Victoria the next day. She's astonished to learn of the divorce from me. Are you truly divorcing your partner? I do not wish to obstruct his desires. I understand. Does he actually have a significant other? In my opinion, yes. Mother, what are you going to do? Other than your dad being out of my life, I don't think anything will change. He promised to give me the house as well. For that, did you obtain a notarized document? Well, do you believe I'd ought to have? He will not honor his promise. Not likely, but I don't require a paper trail. Why not? I love this man, that's who. I don't want to press him, even though I know he won't honor his word. It's just how I feel. I'm not sure why. Dad is such an idiot. He will never be content. I pray he burns in hell. Saying that the two of us will lead happy lives is not acceptable. You don't need to want for him to go to hell. If that's what's best for him, he will. It is accurate. Victoria chuckles and acknowledges our separation. I have nothing to be concerned about at this point. But after 2 weeks, I'm going to learn some startling information. Tomorrow, I would like you to meet my girlfriend. How come? Why? She said she would like me to present her. Okay, I have a lot on my plate. Please. All right, if the afternoon works for us. Regards. To be honest, I'm not all that excited about this. But I believe it would be best to meet her if things are going to proceed. I go to the restaurant where we were meant to meet the following day after work. Wyatt and Elizabeth, his girlfriend, appear to be there already, seated with their backs to me. I apologize for keeping you waiting. In front of them, I stand. Startled, I look at the girl's face. She is still quite young. I apologize, but what is your precise age? 20. How come? Age differences are irrelevant. It was meant to be us and you. You do realize that, Sophia? No, I'm not getting it. Revolting. That is what first springs to mind. Furthermore, it doesn't seem like this man will be able to live a happily ever after. You intend to file for divorce, is that correct? Sure, provided Wyatt fulfills his word. Does that have to do with the house and the pay? Indeed. Are you not feeling a little too avaricious? By that, what do you mean? Where are we going to live if we aren't allowed to keep the house? What is the purpose of your question to me? Shouldn't you talk about that as well? Elizabeth continues to talk exclusively about money after that. All right, Wyatt will never be content with this chick. He is nothing more to her than a walking pocketbook. Could you reevaluate my offer to give you the house? You did not promise me that. I desired to present it to you. I did, truly. As much as possible, I wanted to give you what you wanted, but all right. Okay, then let's list the house for sale. We'll divide the sum as well. How are things going? I'm not sure why Wyatt is staring at Elizabeth, though. Let's do that all right. Additionally, please refrain from asking for payment from me. Pardon me? I am now carrying Wyatt's child. Having children will be an expensive endeavor. How come? Really? Oh my God, best wishes? That's okay with me. In any case, I was not going to ask for payment from you in this. We decide to call it a day once we get home because it appears she is relieved. Wyatt still seems eager to carry on the talk, judging by the confused look on his face. With this, I can never forgive you. Wyatt is currently in Tailland. Once more, yes, I am aware. I'm sorry if I'm causing you too much pain, but I adore her. What do you mean? Who do you claim you've hurt? You, Sophia. No, you are ignorant. You have no comprehension whatsoever. Indeed, I do. I should not have asked you to meet Elizabeth. I gave a long, heavy sigh. Allow me to clarify. Victoria is the one you are hurting the most. For what reason are we discussing Victoria? How come? I mean, can you picture the feelings a young girl would have if she saw her father dating someone younger than herself? I thought she might get hurt. It doesn't seem like you know anything at all. I see. I was also doing harm to my own daughter. I have so many sins. With that, I lose it. You simply give up. You realize how conceited you are? Do you realize that in the end, what you're really is an old greasy man? It is difficult to look at you. By divorcing your daughter and dating a girl who is even younger than her, you're not even doing your daughter any justice? How do you think? It's repulsive. Actually, you have no right to be narcissistic right now. Examine yourself in the mirror. Wyatt is trembling. He can't stop blinking and appears to be trying not to cry. Please complete everything and sign these documents. Right now, this instant. All right? I complete the divorce process as soon as feasible. I find it unbearable to live with my husband anymore because I am so repulsed by the idea that a middle-aged man, 55, is dating a girl who is younger than his own daughter. We filed for divorce 2 weeks after I verified that the settlement had been received. Within a month, the house is sold. Victoria is disgusted when I tell her about Wyatt's girlfriend. She also blocks him, preventing him from contacting her. Victoria moves in with me after leaving her own place. I suppose I will never get to visit Wyatt in his fantasy world once more. That's what I thought anyway. 6 months later, Wyatt and Elizabeth unexpectedly show up at the door on a day off when Victoria and I are both at home. I grudgingly let them inside the living room since I don't want them yelling there at the entryway. What is this? What is this? Why do you live in a finer, bigger place than we do? Oh well, we bought the land and constructed a new home after finding a plot of land that was ideal for my daughter and me. Really, isn't that nice? From where did you obtain all of the money? Where and what do you mean? Did you manage to persuade Wyatt to pay more than what you were paid? I find myself laughing at what Elizabeth said. You would think Mom would do it, but why? Everything was paid for in full by Mom? Not at all. Relax. If you become very thrilled, it is not beneficial for the baby. What's not right? Tell me what's wrong. I'll listen. It's Wyatt. He has no money at all. My daughter and I exchanged glances before laughing uncontrollably. Yes, it's true that he is a big spender. He always spent his entire pay packet. You know, he had a solid life because of Mom. Mom was general manager, but Dad never got promoted. How come? How come you didn't tell me? You've been keeping this from me since when? How long ago was that? Perhaps 10 years ago or so. Nothing was hidden from me. Simply put, I figured you wouldn't be overly thrilled to find out because you seemed so proud of yourself. I thus kept it from you. No, it isn't just unfair. Fair young girl is a word you should research. This is the outcome of diligent labor. Wyatt is the one that continued to make extremely little money for years on end and didn't seem to care. Mom makes 4 times as much as Dad does. Well, I'm tired of being disturbed. All of a sudden, Elizabeth seems like a new person and the room falls silent. All right, enough said. Old man, you don't have any money. All right, then goodbye. Bye goodbye? What do you mean? Are you not carrying his child in your womb? Naturally, I'm not. All I wanted to do was accumulate as much wealth as I could. Lying about anything like that is not appropriate. How come? What makes you need to worry? Anyhow, I'm heading out. Elizabeth walks away without even looking at Wyatt. Wyatt appeared to have shrunk from there. I suppose the embarrassment and shame prevent him from looking at me. It's entertaining to watch. You know, you ought to go too. But Wyatt is as unyielding as a stone. Please excuse me and go immediately. I meet his face as he remains motionless. Not a manner. Once more, he is in a country of fairy tales. Pardon me. Would you kindly go now? Hi there, Mr. Anderson, are you able to hear me? Wyatt glances up at this, crosses his legs, cocks his head, and disappears into his own world. I'm finally awake, Sophia. I was mistaken the entire time. I've wounded you a great deal. I made you cry. However, I'm going to swear to you that I won't ever harm you again. I shall cherish you for the entirety of my existence. I burst into laughter at Victoria's reaction to Wyatt, who looks stunned. After enduring Wyatt's fantasy world for over 20 years, I've had enough. Despite my laughter, Wyatt seems to think he can smooth things over with a smile. I quickly shut down any hope of reconciliation, telling him we're getting a divorce and no longer family. Wyatt tries to convince me otherwise, but I'm firm. I can't stand him, especially after learning about his affair with a younger woman. I want him out and never to return. Victoria and I physically remove Wyatt from the house as he pleads with us to reconsider. In our next life, if we are reborn, things will be different. With a bang, I shut the door on Wyatt before he can finish his sentence, still lost in his fairy dream land. It's astonishing to think I endured that for over 20 years. Good job me. Wyatt never returned to our house, focusing on his work to get by. Elizabeth, on the other hand, seems to be causing havoc in other families, facing several compensations. Her audacity to come to my house seeking help revealed her true nature. I wonder, had we not gone through this tumultuous divorce, would I still be with Wyatt? It's a thought that crosses my mind. Despite the years spent together, I hope we both find happiness on our separate paths. To imagine he would date someone younger than his own daughter. I wonder if Mr. Fairy Dream Land will keep living in his fairy tale. It would be interesting to see where he is in 10 years.